we are ready. Let's get to work. Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Edward18. I am going to be working on the latest page of my comic today. So I guess strap in and get yourselves ready. Get your snacks. So how is everyone today? I've just been spending the last day working on this. Pretty much got it all painted and inked last night, and now we are on to the portion that everybody always sees in these videos, which is me working on the digital editing, putting in the whites and blacks. Although by the point that I put in the that I'm working on stream, I have already put in the whites. It's just kind of a simple thing to do prior to working on the harder portion, or the, I guess, more time-consuming portion, which would be this, the blacks. What takes up most of the page and provides the contrast for all the other colors of the page to pop it out. The absence of color, one might say. Got some calm Space Station Silicon Valley playing in the background. And we got the Claw and Doko in the throes of combat, which seems to be an ongoing issue. I got a banana here and a little slice of bread with stuff on it to keep me sustained throughout my venture here. Back here, you can see that we are coloring in the little King Shadow symbol on the, I guess, block thing that, like, keeps the... is in front of where the tournament people, the competitors, are residing before they are called out for the fight. Although, with the Claw's speech bubbles in the way, you can't really tell what the symbol looks like, but it's just the symbol you see around the tournament grounds. The thick V, which is actually the first idea I ever had to use as a logo for my stuff way back when I was like 8 or 9 years old. I would always put one of these. I can do a better one. There we go. One of these after my name. Just, it was sort of a... I always envisioned having a, I guess, Shadow Corporation would be the name of my, I guess, company that I would create things from. By this point, it's, if I do have a symbol, I made one for, like, when I did the Jaden's animation. You can see that as, like, a faint watermark in the bottom right corner of that animation. It's pretty much just a doofy little drawing of my face with the words Edward18 or Edward18517 around it. Taking a bite of food, very yummy. You know, when I do the credits sequences for animation, I usually use the same Edward18 face at the end of each of them, but I try to modify it each time to give it its own distinct, this is what this animation's aesthetic is kind of thing. Although, for the Invader Zim one, I did like a whole entire big animated thing for my face, where it like formed out of the machinery of the credits sequence. It was a really fun little thing to do. I think that had like 170-something pictures that made up that little credit sequence at the end of that. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. And bam, bam. I put in an application at Joseph Beth yesterday. Hopefully it turns up some sort of work, but knowing my luck, I'll just remain here losing money. Space Station Silicon Valley it's a game that I always picked up at Blockbuster, but I never knew the name of. I just knew it from pictures from seeing it there. I'm not sure why I never knew the name, because obviously it's on the title screen, but I guess I just never paid attention well enough. Then finally, like over a decade later, I found it again and bought it. Realized, oh, this is after like the ice area, the game just isn't as good, is why I never really got through it, I don't think. It's a perfectly playable game, but it does feel like the later stuff is not as good as the earlier stuff to me. Still love the game, though. Just working. I was working on the, Party Crashers animation that I had started about a week or so ago. I'd gotten to this point where I was drawing Luigi with, Brent coming out of him, like, Party Crashers, they play Mario Party all the time. And Brent comes out of him to, like, talk to the other characters, and Luigi, I'd forgotten the, audio that I got takes place in, like, Spaceland and Mario Party 2. So I only drew Luigi in his normal outfit. I have to look up the Spaceland outfit so that I can draw him correctly there. Face came out fine, though. It's just now he's got the wrong outfit on for that video. Yeah, Doko here, on the previous page, the claw had, like, charged at Doko at the end. Doko ended up grabbing his claws to, like, stop him. So here, Doko is taking his hand back off and quickly jerking it over to here, and then trying to slam his fist into his face again, but, yeah, the claw just blocks it. Moves his arm just as quickly. Oh, while working on this page, yesterday, I was listening and sorta watching some of that, footage from that new 23rd Budokai Dragon Ball Z Kakarot thing. I'd never really seen much of that game, cause, like, I know Dragon Ball. I've known the whole story for, like, forever in various different forms. So, I'd never really sat through anything of that game. But, watching the 23rd Budokai stuff, since I was just... They never do anything of pre-Z stuff, for some odd reason. I have no idea why. But, watching that, it was neat, but at the same time, I do not like Oolong's voice in that. They really could have done better with him. And it's always weird hearing people combine the English name and Japanese name for Ten Shinhan, which it's like Tien Shinhan, which it just sounds wrong. Like, it's like if you were to call Edward or something, it's just like, who are you talking about? But I'm sure it's just to try and keep it in line with the dub is all. I know him as Ten Shinhan, because obviously I grew up with the Japanese stuff, so that's what I always heard him called. Well, I guess since I'm talking about Dragon Ball, may as well switch to something more suiting of Dragon Ball. Ah, yes, a Pokemon ad that is very much more fitting for Dragon Ball. No, let's play this instead. And I guess by default it's more in line with what the comics, my comics, are about. With the whole adventuring, fighting aspect of it. Yeah, Dragon Ball was a pretty big thing that I saw throughout my youth, so inevitably qualities from it eat its way into certain things that I work on. This whole entire Shadow Tournament thing is obviously inspired by the Tenkaichi Budokai. I know that, a lot of stuff, like, shonen-wise, like, the whole tournament shonen stuff, sorta, it didn't originate with Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball was, like, the main primary jump-starting thing for it. And, honestly, I don't really know much in the way of shonen battle tournaments other than Dragon Ball, because that stuff just never really appealed to me that much. And it's a lot of the stuff that deals with, like, tournaments and everything never makes it feel as fun to me as, like, the 21st, 22nd, well, no, not even 23rd Budokai, that's the 21st and 22nd Budokais. Those are, like, the best tournaments of, like, anything ever to me. They are so damn fun. So fun and so tense, like, just perfect. They are perfection when it comes to how to do a tournament. And 22nd more for, like, the, intensity of the story. And the 21st more for the variety of the cast and stuff. Yeah, with this tournament, I wanted to capture that feeling of quite a varied cast of characters, all with, like, very different designs from each other and stuff. That's something that just gets lost as Dragon Ball goes on. But with this, I wanted to grab on to those qualities that I liked so much about those tournaments. And when Mom was over, and she saw some of the pages... Sorry, I am choking on food. She said, hey, that announcer, you know who he reminds me of? And then obviously it was the tournament announcer from Dragon Ball. Yeah, I had, when I was, like, a baby, my mom had made these circle pictures to hang on the walls, like they're not picture frames, they're just, like, cut out of pieces of paper. And what she did, she drew characters from Astro Boy on them for, like, the nursery. And one of the things that she drew was, like, the shark jet plane that the announcer in that the announcer in Dragon Ball uses when he's, like, flying after Ten Shinhan and Goku during their fight at the end. Where did I mess up here? Oh, I see. I never completed the blacks right here. But while Mom was here, we found those. And they're over on my radio over to the left. I can see, oh yeah. There's the detective guy, the bearded uncle from Astro Boy over there. Yeah, my parents were both, I didn't realize it when I was younger, but they were not what you would call normal parents with, the stuff that they enjoyed and exposed the children to. Which I am very thankful for. I would not want my life to have ended up in a home where it's just, like, the most boring, generic American stuff you can see on TV as the entertainment. I did have Cartoon Network, but even that was, like, that was so much better than, like, live-action stuff for kids. Although I do like Power Rangers. Yeah, I've only seen one Japanese... Well, I was gonna say version of Power Rangers, but they're not really versions. Because it's like Super Sentai, what Power Rangers is based on, is technically an entirely different show. It just uses the same outfits for, like, the Rangers and sometimes their mentors, but other than that, they're, like, completely separate things. But, I have seen one Super Sentai. I've seen Power Rangers up until, like, I guess... I watched it up until Lost Galaxy. And then I saw parts of, what's that one that's, like... I should know it, because I saw it, but it's like their law enforcement, and they have, that underwater marine base and stuff. I saw that one. It's like the one that was like immediately after the Zordon era. And I do remember they like reference, or they imply sort of a connection at one point with like what seems to be remains of Dark Spectre that are found underwater and everything. But other than that, it was like the start of the not Zordon era. Which is always kinda sad to me, because Zordon was like, that whole story, Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin up to Power Rangers in space, was like one ongoing story, and that's what made it like super cool. It just felt like the series should end at the end of space. Lost Galaxy was like a sort of epilogue, it felt like, because it's like its own thing in space and stuff, and they have references to the Zordon stuff, but it's like not related to the previous ones. But after that is like when it stopped being Zordon entirely. But no, the only... after that, I saw SPD Emergency, which was really good, after, like, everything else that I did see, like, the bits and pieces of the shows between the law enforcement one and SPD. It, none of it looked too great to me, but SPD, like, brought it back to being pretty damn cool. SPD Emergency! And then after that, I saw the one that had that really weird rap opening, but it was like, it had an episode that had Rita and Zed's son, which like makes no sense really story-wise, I don't think, but it was just really cool to see like that type of stuff back. And then you had Zack, like he's the one that always comes back if it's not Tommy, it feels like. And to have... no, not Zack. What's the other... Adam. That's the one I meant. Yeah, he's the one that, like... if it's not Tommy that comes back, it's Adam. And, like... he was, he's the one that came back in space, if I remember right. And it's just always cool to have that continuity creep back in. But other than that, that's pretty much my experience with Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin's nostalgic and fun, but it is not great. It's fun, but it's not great. Space is the one that's like the best Power Rangers ever created. That's not something you should start with. You should see, like, Mighty Morphin and Zeo and Turbo before you get to Space, because it's like, that is one ongoing story. The end of Turbo leads directly into Space, and Space acts as a culmination of everything that happened in the series up to that point. But Space itself, once you get there and have all of that experience, it's like, oh my god, this is one of the greatest endings to a show ever created, is what it feels like. It's kind of bittersweet, but it is incredible to experience, like, from the start of Mighty Morphin to the end of Space. Even just starting at Space is it's exciting. It's not what I would recommend you do, because it's like starting with 2 towers instead of, like, the Fellowship of the Ring. But it's the best Power Rangers. In terms of Super Sentai, the only Super Sentai I ever saw the entire thing of was Super Sentai Tokuga, which is like this train one that never came to America as a Power Rangers series. It's like, they skipped over it for like something else, but it is like one of the funnest shows I have ever seen. Like, it's kind of childish at times, but it has quite a bit of youthful magic to it, to me, with how it feels. And it's really fun and hilarious. And I always love in the opening, like, they have the introductions, and then they have the explosion behind the Power Rangers to make them look cool. But one thing that is always, like, hilarious to me with that show is they do the, like, epic explosion behind the the Super Sentai Rangers, the Sentai Rangers. They do the epic explosion behind them in the intro, and every time, it's a different Ranger this happens to. They have the explosion knock one of the Rangers over, and it's just hilarious to watch. Yeah, you can't beat Japanese kids shows. Actually, it's pretty hard to beat Japanese most things when it comes to entertainment. They have capitalized on the market of entertainment. That's one thing America's always been behind on. And probably always will be behind on. Actually, compared to a lot of countries. Yeah, America is the land of dumbing pretty much everything down. Yeah, the shows, the food, the types of stuff that they think is appropriate for certain age groups. I'm almost done with my piece of with my piece of bread with stuff on it. Get it down. So how about that Resident Evil Gaiden? That was quite a playthrough. I am sorry for anyone that decided to sit through the parts where it's just me doing the same boss over and over and cursing and stuff. I did find out that game was made in, I believe it's England. It was made in Europe somewhere, I know that. That's where M4 is from. My dad went to England when he was younger. I've had a few friends that are over in England. Yeah, if anyone ever goes to my YouTube page on here and sees the links that I have to other creators, there's only 2 of them. Skull Kid 3. The one that goes to Skull Kid 3, that is a friend I had that is from England, or the UK. And, they were a Let's Player back years ago now, but they, actually, I remember they were big for a while with their, what was it? Endless Ocean and Endless Ocean 2 Let's Plays. That's like the biggest things they ever did. I don't think that Skull Kid was thinking that that was going to be like the most watched thing ever, but it ended up getting a lot of people watching it. And I got every episode, well, I got every video they ever made saved onto a hard drive for safekeeping, in case anything ever happens to the channel. Yeah, one of the many, many people that eventually left YouTube. People, over the years, people will drop in and out of your life, but what matters is the time you have together. Those moments that you get to experience. You never know how things will end up until they do end up the way that they do. But with any luck, you'll run into those people again at some point. Then you can reminisce about all the stuff you did when you were younger. And hopefully not talk about all the horrible, traumatic things you went through afterwards. Yes. Back a few years ago, I dealt with the guy that broke in and held me up with a knife. True story. Yeah, I've been through, things that kind of feel just normal to me at this point, but with how my life is, I'm pretty sure that I do not understand what normal is. But, yeah, I've been through a few things. Nothing, like, illegal, I don't think. But I've had experiences, as everybody does. coldest I ever was, I think negative 145 or something one year in Iowa. That was, unpleasant. Every time I would close my eyes and, like, for some reason, I felt that I needed to go to the store to get something. And every time that I closed my eyes and opened them up again on the way to the store, they would not open up. I was, like, walking, because, like, the weather had destroyed every car in town. There was no way to drive, and the snow was so thick you wouldn't be able to drive anyway. But every time I tried to open my eyes when I'd, like, close them, I couldn't open them because my eyelashes would instantly freeze shut every time that I closed the eyes. Yeah, if I did not have all the layers of clothing I did on when I was doing that, I would not be here. I would probably not have life. But that is Iowa winters. Actually, no, that is not what they're normally like, but that's what that one was like. They get bad, but usually not like that. I think it was like the worst winter in like decades or something was what I was hearing. I am going to open this little bag of chocolates. Yeah, Iowa is not fun when you get to the colder months of the year. But hopefully global warming changes all of that. It's funny, because global warming will kill everybody eventually. Yeah, there's absolutely ways that humanity can survive global warming. They just have to give the effort to do it. An actual concentrated push towards advancing enough to, like, actually affect the weather and get things properly cleaned up. I know they probably won't until it's too late, and then, like, get probably a third or maybe a few fifths of humanity killed off from that, but eventually they get around to things. We should have people colonizing Mars at this point, but that's not what politics allow to happen with how much they distract the race from everything. Yeah, we could be out there right now terraforming other worlds and all that, but oh, we're just stuck down here bickering and backering about whatever trivial little social media slight people give to each other. What you gonna do? That's humans. Yeah, humanity has a talent with being extremely advanced for being animals, and being extremely stupid when it comes to certain general things of society. Humanity they endure, they find ways to adapt. It is never the end. As long as there is people, there is hope. Just gotta keep that kind of thought in mind. Then get back to work on this comic that you're never gonna finish because you made it too long in your head and it's going to take decades upon decades to complete long after you are gone. God damn it, I'm gonna get what I can done. Preferably at least the first 3 main adventures. Well, preferably all of it. I just don't see that really happening with, like, getting distracted with having to get jobs that, like, pay you money. Like, convenience store jobs and stuff, and then not really having anyone to really, help speed up the process in production and anything. Hello, Daniel, how are you doing? We've been talking about the disastrous, philosophical futures of humanity. Did you enjoy your hamburger and chips yesterday? They look quite delicious on the Discord. We're just drawing Doko here, fighting the Claw still. The Claw, despite being in the heat of battle, is still pointing out things that Doko is, not doing the best at. Yeah, that hamburger looked pretty yummy. And the chips look quite nice. In Earthworm Jim, you can get a chip buddy as a power-up in the second game. And the first game doesn't have that. The first game just has a 100% health power-up as the special thing. And the second game adds on the chip buddy as a 200% health power-up. I would love a proper Earthworm Jim 4. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that'll maybe ever be happening. But at least I got the games I do already. I never expect sequels to games unless they, like, imply that there is going to be a sequel in the one you are playing. Once they do that, then it's a bit of a letdown if they don't do a sequel. I did see the, Matanui Online game, the greatest Flash game ever created, is getting a new release by fans that has fixed glitches and graphical errors and sped up load times and everything to pretty much make it the best version of the game ever. Which I guess means it's going to be the greatest game of all time now. But I would have to play that myself to judge it. Although I'm pretty sure it is as good as it looks, because there's not many ways you can, like, mess that game up if you're, like, trying to improve it. Oh, hello, Shadow. You made it into a stream today. How are you doing? We were, talking about Daniel's burger and chips from last night. And before that, how global warming is going to annihilate everybody. And then I talked about the Madanui online game. And how, well, long before any of you guys came in, how weird the calling Ten Shinhan Tien Shinhan sounds to me. And then I started playing this Dragon Ball music, because I was talking about Dragon Ball back then. Oh. Anything going on with you guys today? I just been working on this comic page all day yesterday, and watching footage from that 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai from Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Red Ribbon always has the best themes of anything. But yeah, they are re-releasing the Madanui online game with the fan upgrades that they made to it. Cannot wait to see that. That game always felt kinda Samurai Jack-like when it came to the cutscenes, because all the characters, they don't have black outlines around them. It's just all full color. Which it takes longer to do that sometimes when it comes to animating. But for that was flash animation, so it's not as hard to do. Oh, I don't know where a download link is, Shadow, but just be sure to look up, like, I think it's Madanui online game. What was it called? Actually, why am I asking? I can just hop on over to YouTube. Let me see here. The Madanui online game improvement mod. Just look that up. Then above that is a horrible thumbnail. Nuxanor going over Saber Spark, talking about Teen Titans Go. Like Nuxanor, Saber Spark's a bit hit or miss for me at times. And Teen Titans Go is a complete just kill me now type of thing, so not the best combination there, it doesn't look like. Boom. Okay. Off of that, let's head over to here. Go here. Oh, okay, we got this playing again. Yeah, Saber Spark's just kinda there to me. He's not, like, great, but he's not, like, horrible. He's very over-dramatic to me. Like, says things that don't make any sense to me. Cause, what was it I heard him saying once? It was, panty and stocking, that's what he was talking about. The, very explicit, I think it's... Was it Studio Gainax that did that show? Either way, he was, like, going on and on about if it came out now, would it be able to survive? Would they allow it to be made now? And it's like, what are you talking about? Obviously it can be made now. It doesn't matter. If a creator wants to make something, they're generally gonna make it. Like, it can get whatever reception from a country that isn't even the country it's made in. Man, it's not going to really matter. So it's like he just... To me, he goes on about these, like, very over-dramatic things that simply aren't true a lot of times. Things that he says to, like, be dramatic. And that part kind of makes it a bit annoying to watch to me with him. But at the end of the day, he's got videos that are, like, fine to watch. It's like, yeah, he's there. Okay, he's one of the reviewer people. It's kinda... he's not anything offensive or anything, but he's not something I regularly keep track of. I know he's got an audience, though. And he was big enough that, well, for whatever it's worth, the, Bored Ape Family, that NFT show, made reference to him in a rather derogatory way. But who the hell ever watched that show to begin with? Yeah, most reviewers feel like they're saying things that they think are gonna resonate with an audience. For me, the Nostalgia Critic was pretty decent earlier on, but as it went on, because he got to just feeling like he kinda devolved to me. He's someone I can watch, but he's not nearly as good as he used to be in my eyes. Between him and the Angry Video Game Nerd, the Angry Video Game Nerd always felt better to me. He felt like the guy that actually knew what he was talking about, compared to the Nostalgia Critic. Nostalgia Critic did decent reviews, but a lot of times he didn't feel exactly like he understood things as well as the nerd. I do need to save all the nerd stuff still. There's no way I can save all of the Nostalgia Critic stuff. It's too much stuff for him. Although they don't really need to be saved. They're gonna have their things up forever. There were a few people that I watch sometimes from that guy with the glasses, Channel Awesome, I mean. Was probably... Linkara sometimes. No, not Petronius. Who was it? Drawing a blank on the name now. There was one guy that went over Ninja Turtles stuff sometimes, and he was okay. When it came to reviews, I had a few that I liked quite a bit earlier on. Obviously, when I do reviews, I try to get as much information as possible before I make those videos. And then other than that, it's just talking about my experiences with the thing over the course of my life, pretty much. Let's see. Turn this up. Oh, whoa, that's a loud. Ouch. Okay. Turn that down. I do remember all the, controversy with Jew Wario and everything. I don't think anyone's ever gonna live that down for the people that know about it. Who was the one... There was a guy... I wanna say... Wait. I think I know how I can find who I'm thinking about at this moment. Let's see, go over... Come on, don't freeze up. Okay, thank you. Let's see, what is it called? Down the Rabbit Hole. look you up. And if no one's ever seen Down the Rabbit Hole, they are a channel that did a lot of very in-depth documentaries. Always got a lot of information. Don't think it's that guy. Wings of Redemption, no. Oh, no, it's Spoonie is the one I was thinking of that, like, caused a lot of drama, it felt like, in the Channel Awesome stuff. Oh, Jew Wario was a member of, the Nostalgia Critic Channel Awesome type stuff, Shadow. I think he died. I'm trying to remember how. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I thought it was. He committed suicide. And it was found. Well, people that worked on Channel Awesome knew after. Well, they knew during their time with him that there was, like, that people on the internet did not know until, like, later on when internal documents were released about Channel Awesome that went along with all the other controversy going on with Channel Awesome. But, nothing was directly said, but people figured out that he had, I think, sexually harassed members in Channel Awesome. And that was, people in general found that out after he was dead, but while people were working on Channel Awesome, obviously the people in Channel Awesome knew about that and stuff. Channel Awesome in general is just a very, big, not great thing that was going on behind the scenes. It's something you'd have to, like, really, watch videos on and stuff to understand the full extent of. I know I've seen some documentaries on Channel Awesome and the goings-on of it and stuff. Can't remember which ones I watched the most were, though. I know I found some things out from the Down the Rabbit Hole video, though. But hopefully my YouTube video reviews will land more on the, more good side of the review community than the bad. Or if nothing else, the harmless side. Yeah, I have learned so much stuff over the years from things on YouTube. And things from before YouTube. The internet was kind of the Wild West before that era. Everybody, everybody, I'm Homestar Wanna. Yeah, but for right now, all I'm doing is creating. There's not much I can do to abuse somebody in this regard, I don't think. Not with just one person working on it. When I think about negativity in comics, my thoughts just immediately go to Ken Penders. He's certainly got a number of videos on him. Oh, I always liked the Tetrahedron. They were always a fun review group. And Classic Game Room was pretty fun. Eventually they kind of waned off of that, though. Gaming in the Clinton years is just an absolute bizarro world type of reviewing. You go to that if you want the most in-depth look at the illogicalness of a human giving thoughts. George Wood. I remember he just flat out said that if you don't like Donkey Kong Country, you are stupid. And you may think that's like a joke, and it may partly be, but once you like see his videos, it becomes more of, is this guy alright? And the answer is probably not, but that's part of why you watch him. Why is this not doing the best lines right now? Yeah, I hope Joseph Beth calls me back. Would be nice to get a job there as opposed to having to do one at a convenience store or something. Do have another application to put in at like the this sort of, what is it? A kind of pastry place? It's mostly like cookies and stuff. Global warming, content creator drama, the horrible thoughts that humans have. We go through all sorts of stuff here. Actually, Bowyer, that is a Patrick Show episode is what that Nostalgia Critic reference with Bubble Bass is from. Although, from what I've seen, he acts more like Mr. Enner than the Nostalgia Critic. Which I will watch the Nostalgia Critic any day of the week over Mr. Enner. Well, we all know that Masasa, or God Pretzel, has plenty of horrible thoughts. Although I won't exactly call her a metric for all of humanity, though. Thankfully, no internal drama of the Edwardian army has caused an implosion of the faction yet. And if you would like to join the Edwardian army, hit that subscribe button. Join me now and build us up to where we can sell merchandise and get sponsored by, whatever Asian treat box will send us stuff every month. Get your own Edward18 plushie once we reach that 1 billion subscriber mark. He will protect your pencils. Or you can join the Discord. That's always the link in the description. Yeah, that's definitely Mr. Enter type of material there with the bubble bass in that situation. I used to watch Mr. Enter simply out of curiosity, because back when he was getting started, it was just like, oh, here's another review thing. I guess this is something that I can look at to see what people think about a certain thing. But as it went on, every single video was just him whining and bitching about, like, everything. It was just really, really annoying. Now, eventually it got to the point of, well, what the fuck are you talking about? You're complaining about the animation, when what you're saying has nothing to do with the animation. At that point, it's just like I kinda just gave up on him. I remember his Ren Seeks Help video, the Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon episode. I remember him going so off the deep end about that. And that show is not great. I would not watch Adult Party cartoon, like, if other stuff is in front of me. But the stuff he was complaining about, it's like, dude, have you seen a show? Can you get enjoyment out of anything with what you're saying? Hopefully Doko provides enjoyment for you viewers. Got him quite a bit angrier than in earlier comics with this one. I do wonder what the audience thinks, like, if anyone ever thinks about what may happen in the future of these comics. Because I have to imagine some people that do see these comics on a regular basis are probably coming up with their own ideas for how things will progress at some point. Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me, Bowyer. That's, I do remember Mr. Enter's Turning Red video. That's a, that one was him kind of popping back up after I hadn't seen him in forever. And it, like, got so big that I saw it and was like, wait, you're still around? And then watching it, it's like, oh, okay, he's just saying Mr. Enter stuff. This is like par for the course for him. But now that everyone's seen him because he's saying it about a current movie, everyone is seeing his insanity. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was on about with the whole, oh, this should be showing the effects of, like, 9/11, because it's set in this current time period. Even though this has nothing to do with 9/11, and does not take place in New York or anything. And Turning Red, I actually found it pretty cool once I realized that it takes place in the early 2000s, once you, like, look at the calendars in the background and stuff. That was a pretty neat detail to me. And I know, Mr. Enner doesn't exactly see things the way that I do. I've certainly left comments on his videos years back when I saw him originally. Gave my own viewpoints that did not align with his. But I've got many viewpoints that don't align with other people's. Edward is nothing if not honest. Yes, Resident Evil 4 should not have been remade, as it looked completely fine. Yes, I know you all will murder me for that, but that doesn't change what I think. Well, time to die now. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. We've been playing this music a while. Ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Actually, I should probably change this music. Let's see here. You should play Space Station Silicon Valley. Oh, Cybershell did a video on Space Station Silicon Valley. I did not know that. Now that is a Let's Player I would recommend. Cybershell always does top-of-the-line Sonic stuff. Him and Radical Soda are like the two Sonic guys I will usually drop stuff to watch. We are going on to another video right now. Bum bum. Come on, skip the ad, get out of here. There we go. Bow, 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 bow. This is my favorite music from Resident Evil. This will forever be arguably my favorite track of the Resident Evil series. This remix specifically. It's a very great remix of an already kick-ass song. Yeah, we do got some audience members to, where are they? Not there. Where's the one that has, like, this? I'm not gonna be able to do the audience members in the background on here, because I need the opacity raised so that I can, like, actually see these lines back here to work with. So I probably won't even bother with those on the stream. That'll be afterwards. Oh, and on my Patreon, I actually put up, like, every iteration of this page, I think. It's, I put up the part where it's just the sketched version, then I put up the part with just the colors, and today, before I started the stream, I put up the version of it that has just the black lines before I started filling in the blacks here. Yeah, I usually don't get, like, every version of the page put up, because while I'm making it, my mind is not thinking, oh, I need to stop and take a picture of this part. And then once I do that, I end up getting distracted with, like, well, now since I've done this, I should go get something to eat, and then that'll distract me, and I'll just end up taking a break for an hour or something, which is not what I need to do when it comes to creating. I need to stick with creating the thing. But this time I did manage to get a picture of, like, every part of the process, I think. Yeah, seeing that 911 on the corner is, just making me think of that, I think it's Maxor, the incorrect summary of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where the character goes, in the good old days after 9/11, which is, I'm pretty sure, actually dialogue that they use in the game itself. The game itself is not as good to me as those incorrect summary videos are. Partly because it feels nothing like Metal Gear to me. Metal Gear Rising feels like it's a game that should have taken place between Solid 2 and Solid 4. It does not feel... It feels like after Solid 4, there shouldn't be that type of conflict anymore to me. I should do a lot of things if I ever get a better PC. Yeah, Metal Gear is one of... I love Metal Gear from Metal Gear 2 to Solid 3. Solid 4 I view as just tolerable because it's an ending, and the Shadow Moses chapter is very magical feeling. It's not a good Solid game, I don't think. And I knew that was gonna fill in the whole page. But it's serviceable as an ending. Not great as an ending, but it's serviceable. After that, the Metal Gear series kinda just is done to me. Well, I did play those, I did stream Pikmin in Pikmin 2 the other month, Shadow. So it can handle GameCube games, although the map screens for those Pikmin games are very laggy on the stream. On the computer itself, it ran those games fine. It's just when it's on stream, it's like lagging everything when it gets to the, I guess... Well, I was gonna say more graphically taxing parts of the game, but I don't think the map screens are all that graphically complex. I'm not sure why it ended up doing that. So I'm kinda wary about streaming, like, 3D games and stuff on the computer. But it was fun. In the levels themselves, as long as I didn't have, like, was not switching to another program, like going to the internet and then going back to the in-game window if I did that, it would lag it up again. I wouldn't notice it on stream, but when I'd see the videos afterwards, it was like all laggy. Yeah, there's quite a few videos of me playing games I assume you probably haven't seen, Shadow. They are always on the live section of the YouTube channel, though, if you're ever curious about all the stuff I've been able to play on stream. I think my favorites so far have been the Mega Man Zero games, probably. Those are probably what I'd consider my best Let's Plays. Although, I don't know how good I would consider the Resident Evil Gaiden Let's Play, but I will say that was a very, it was an experience of a Let's Play. Resident Evil Gaiden was the latest video game I played on stream. Hello, Handgun, how are you doing? We got like, half of the most active members of the Edwardian army in chat here. We were just talking about what my computer is capable of playing. Before that, we were talking about internet reviewers and stuff. I know that you stopped in Handgun on the Resident Evil Gaiden Let's Play. I'm sure you did not stick around for it, because what I remember was you stopped in when I was doing the third to last boss, and that was just going on and on forever. So I assume you left during that, because it was just the same thing over and over for like, God, an hour and a half, I think, was how long that was. Do not ever put yourself through that. I played it, so you don't have to. By all means, play the game up to the point that you get to those bosses, but after that, look at a Let's Player walkthrough to see what else you're missing out on. It is hell otherwise. Yeah, that game was made by people that had been working on a Dino Crisis Game Boy version of it that never ended up getting made. And that's why Capcom got them to make a Game Boy Resident Evil. Now I am eating a banana. Yeah, but when it comes to internet reviewers in the current day and age, a lot of them are, like, really not great to me. A lot of them just say really dumb or obvious stuff, and it's not, like, really insightful review-wise, or it's not fun at all. It's, like, things like the Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff, while it could be hit and miss at times, they made it fun to watch when it was the good videos. Like the Ghostbusters trilogy that the Angry Video Game Nerd did, that is still some of my favorite reviews. And I'd say probably the group that carries on that era of earlier YouTube type of reviewing. Although, the Angry Video Game Nerd, or I guess back then, the Angry Nintendo Nerd, was not a YouTuber. He was like out of his own website and eventually migrated over to YouTube. But the ones that I feel carry on that atmosphere of like that guy with the glasses and angry video game nerd type of reviewing would probably be Council Wars, which is like these two guys that compare the different versions of video games between their Sega and Nintendo versions. They're pretty fun to watch. Kinda dumb, but that's part of who they are. And I know the Angry Video Game Nerd, when he did his Earthworm Jim video, he said things like, some of the things he said was like exactly what I said in my Earthworm Jim review. I do remember watching that video and thinking, did they watch anything that I did? Because this sounds suspiciously familiar. I kinda doubt they did, because it's probably just lining up the same viewpoints between two different people, but it was kind of odd hearing somebody say, like, the exact same things I had said. Okay, we don't need to keep listening to the most epic music of all time. So let us hop on over to some good old Shadow the Hedgehog. Or the Shadow the Edgehog. Honestly, I never found Shadow all that quote-unquote edgy. It always seemed like fan, or, no, just general audience overreaction to having, like, a dark character that is the same type of character as the main character. Really, Shadow just felt like a better written character than other Sonic characters to me. When I was younger, I was convinced that, Shadow the Hedgehog was supposed to have died and, like, supposed to have, like, stayed dead after Adventure 2 for the original idea. But from what I've researched, they always intended to bring him back. Which is kind of odd to me, with how, like, perfect his death feels in Adventure 2. I would have just left him dead there, because it's like, that's the perfect ending for him. And I do remember, in the Japanese version of Adventure 2, it feels more emotional to me with his death, because, like, the part where he's like saying, Maria, this is what you wanted, isn't it? This is my promise I made to you. Like, as he's falling through the atmosphere. Like, in the Japanese version, I think it translates more to as, Maria, this is good enough, isn't it? And that's how he dies, or that's how it ends with him there. And that always felt more sad to me. More emotional. Although everything in the Japanese version feels more emotional, because that's the original script and everything. And I remember Sonic X actually used versions of the scenes in the adventure games that were like beta versions sometimes. Like, they had access to things that were not in the final game, so they based some of the scenes on versions of the scenes that weren't the final versions. That'll happen sometimes with companies that make adaptations and stuff, like in Resident Evil, the Dark Side Chronicles. For the Code Veronica parts of Dark Side Chronicles, the people working on it are basing that version of it off of how things are in, like, Sugimura's original script of the game, instead of the final version that was, like, edited by Kato and Mikami. And it's part of why things feel as different as they do in the Dark Side Chronicles version of Code Veronica when compared to the original Code Veronica. Still the same story, but different versions of it, kind of. I do remember Alexia at one point was supposed to have been a child when she emerged from cryogenic sleep. She was going to have her body still as a young, the age that she put herself to sleep at. And then when Alfred woke her up, and she'd have just stuffed his body in her, like, cryogenic sleeping chamber, like in the final game. But because of how short she is in that version, she, like, they wouldn't have shown it, I don't think. Like, it's just implied when Chris finds Alfred, but she would have broken Alfred's legs to get his body to fit in the cryogenic sleeping chamber. Obviously, he's dead at that point, so it doesn't matter, like, pain-wise. Bodily harm. Pain is hilarious. I'm Bill Cipher. Yeah, Bill Cipher. That's one video I saw that Nuxanor made, was, he did a Bill Cipher video the other day while I was working on stuff. I saw that pop up. I do like Bill Cipher. Got kinda sick of hearing about him for a while, though. Boom, 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 boom. Still, it's hard to beat a good villain. Say the most entertaining villain in Amphibia was Andreas, probably. Most evil one would obviously be the Core. And then I guess if you count it, Marcy combined with the Core, but that's basically just the Core working off of her emotions for the personality. Although if you do count that, Marcy committed murder on the US military. She was literally killing people there. It would have been so nice if they allowed more, like, more blood to be shown on Disney shows. I know they're not going to, it's not Toonami, but it would be so nice if they allowed the type of stuff that the creators probably want to have there. Actually, what they absolutely want to have there, given the little specks of fluid we see from injuries in later parts of that show. The way Andreas was defeated, the instant that happened, I just thought, oh, this is Goku versus Piccolo Daimyo. This was always one of my... Actually, it is my favorite tune from Shadow the Hedgehog. I'd have had a remix of this playing for the credits sequence of my Project Shadow fan game. Feels very somber, suitable for the events that take place in Project Shadow, or the Immortality Research Project. It's too bad that you can't get, like, Rouge's report in a game itself. That's where a lot of details about Project Shadow come from. But you have to, like, check one of the guides to be able to actually read her report. Otherwise, you just hear it mentioned in the game. And then you see, like, the text document she holds up with the bio-lizard. That was always a really cool thing to me, just seeing that, and then getting to the bio-lizard, you realize, oh, they actually had this all thought out, and, like, this isn't the hero's story is right, or the villain's story is right. This really does all combine together for one big story. Although I do also like in Sonic Adventure, how when you play as the different characters, it has characters saying different things depending on which character you're playing as. So it always felt to me in that game that what that is like, that is what the character you're playing as is thinking. Like, it's showing their perspective on how the events went. Just little points of view that you don't normally get in a single adventure. It was nice to see Sonic actually be around people and stuff in a game once the adventure games happened. It wasn't just him and maybe one or two other characters and Eggman. You got to actually see the society and everything. Sonic Adventure was started out as an RPG. That was the idea they had going with it. I believe it was Eggman's art designer, like the original art creator guy, the last thing he worked on for Sonic was Adventure 2. He did the concept art for Perfect Chaos. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Not sure why. The paint program really is not working. Like, it's working, but it's like these lines are not as smooth as they should be at times. It's like right here, that's looking a bit warbly. Right now it's going fine. It's just, it has these moments of like lag to it that mess it up. Become a subscriber today and get us to that 1 billion subscriber mark so Edward can afford a new computer. And don't forget, your money goes to helping to revive Edward in the reviews of the channel, as he is still decapitated in those videos from the ending of that Dragon Ball review. I have so many review videos to make, but no time to ever make them. But what matters is once you get to the end of a person's life and look back at the videos they've made, if they're good at that point, and you see how the ongoing plot threads feed into each other and work as the ongoing series that they were working on. I really love the edward18 battling the Hamtaro movies arc. Oh, I quite liked his Love Hina review. I thought he was a stupid-ass motherfucker and deserves to be dead. Yeah, that's about the type of views that people on classic internet would have. Everyone's got their opinions. Oh, and Shadow, just need to remind you, you got a Patreon picture I need to make for you this month if you got anything. Sorry, was eating while saying that. I am just giving a little reminder. I know it's gotten a bit mixed up at times the last couple of months, so just putting that out there. Yeah, I saw that the Miss Clown Girl over on Twitter, or I guess X as it's labeled now, she's making something sometimes. Like, I've seen her put up a few more videos. Or recordings. And I did have someone that was wanting me to make something of somebody on Twitter. This Doko needs a bit more hair over here. Yeah, because his skull goes like that. So out to here? Yeah, out to here. There we go. Oh, I did quite like the Metroid Zero mission Let's Play I did the other month. Well, not the other month, that was a couple of weeks ago, I think. Don't normally get a chance to really talk about Metroid. It was nice to be able to play that again. One of the greatest remakes of all time. Doka, we may have to mess with your hair a bit up here. And my banana is finished. Let us now see what else we got for music. There's the opening theme to OKKO, which I'm not going to watch for probably copyright purposes. There's a thumbnail with Peridot on it. What about this? Good morning! That's an ad. I don't care about your zombie anime. Yeah, we can have this playing. Time for more chocolates. Fawn candy, pastel chocolate rocks. Ingredients, compound chocolate. Yellow number 8, red number 3, blue number 1. Yeah, those are basically, imagine a bunch of differently shaped chocolates covered in a hard candy shell. Not really a hard shell, but it's like a solid candy shell. Kinda like M&M's, but like rock-shaped. That's basically that. These chocolates are very yummy. Time passes, the years go by, and Edward's still here just working on his comic. It is kinda crazy when I think about how long I've been doing these. Pretty much just over half my life taken up making this thing so far. Like 11 or 12 years, half of it just spent sitting and drawing. And now talking. I honestly never thought I would get streams to actually work with, like, the type of equipment I've always had. But we're here. For now, at least, we've got things running. It is so much nicer than having to record live-action footage of drawing and then later uploading it. I can just do it on stream in real time with people watching. Although I wish I had a program that made it feel like I was doing this in a sketchbook. That's the main issue when it comes to digital stuff, is just simply the feel of it. Does not feel natural to me compared to the sketchbook stuff. And in the Project Shadow fan game, this track would be playing when you are controlling the gun commander when he's a child and floating throughout the sort of underbelly tunnel systems of Ark. More chocolate. Too much chocolate. Way too much. All poured out. It's all over my tablet. My now very delicious tablet. Come on, I need space to actually work here. Get off. Okay, got this cleared off. That was a bit of a tiny disaster. I wish there was a way to get, like, the live part of the YouTube channel to be, like, featured on the main page of it. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't allow me to, like, just show the videos that are in the live portion on the home page. It just lets me show videos in playlists from the video part, and then just playlists on that. Feels a bit backwards to me, but I know I am not of the mental caliber that the people running YouTube are. Certainly not of the integrity. Whenever I'm on the internet, whenever I'm in life, I kind of feel like I have not like, I treat everything as it was in the early 2000s. I've not really felt like I've changed in personality or how I look at things or act towards things since the early 2000s. I've never been able to keep up with, like, the slang of any generation. People can go on about their 360 no-scope teabag whatever. I'll just be here, just minding my business, looking at old Invader Zim and Newgrounds animations. Wondering why people won't make another Numa Numa dance video. Numa 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 che potersi gratuitamente or Dragoste Dinte. Oh. Apparently Dumbo was listening to the Legacy of Goku soundtrack. Have not seen him for a while on the Discord. I don't know if I've seen him put a video up lately. I'm sure he has. I remember he was putting things up when the Resident Evil 4 remake was coming out. Although, Handgun was also doing that. What was your guys' introduction into memes? Mine would have been, long before people called them memes, YTMND. You're the man now, dog. That website. In the days of E-Bomb's World and Albino Black Sheep. On the shores of Newgrounds, we fought our wars. Bickering over our salad fingers and our Homestar Runners. And the one that I saw from the guys that did, like, salad fingers the most was, that badger one. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. That's the one that I always saw and that people in my classroom would play non-stop on the computer. Then there was the football one. The badger, 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 football, football. They had like 2 or 3 different variants of that. A snake, a snake, a snake, oh, it's a snake. Go by England, 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 England. One of the standout ones was the legendary Frog videos, the One Ring to Rule Them All series, with Sauron and his goblin assistant just talking about inane things. I guess Foamy the Squirrel would fall into that stuff, like that time period of creation. Yeah, the Badger stuff was one of the big ones back then. I don't know if Numa Dance would be called a meme, but I certainly saw that everywhere. Place a place called Numa eh, Numa eh. I actually would sometimes picture the Numa Dance, or I picture Dragoste Dinte, the song that plays for it, for like a credit sequence for some episodes of the old stuff that I would come up with in my head. I know one of the intro songs for like the 2000s time period of my stuff would be, I always thought of, what is it? Is it Sugar Ray that does the, I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. I just want to fly. I just want to fly. And then when it does that final I just wanna fly thing, Mechanica, one of the characters from my old stuff, would plug this cord into a machine, and that would like cut the song off and end the intro video for the episode. Just one of the many sequences I came up with for music I would hear all the time in that time period. If I ever did a show of that stuff, I would want things that sound like they're from the 2000s and late 90s for like the, if there were like movies and they had like celebrity level theme music in it and stuff. Though I would, if I had it my way and knew how to make everything myself, I'd just try to make things that sound like they're from that time period to have it be more, well, this is this show's song. It's not from anything else. But it would be nice to have, like, actual references to things that are actually in that time period. It's one thing I don't care for with, like, modern Marvel, how they handle things with the original universe by saying it's a sliding time period where it's like, these are only here because these comics were made back then. It does not necessarily reflect how, in actuality, those stories might be. Just as like an excuse for like retellings doing things differently. It's like, no, Spider-Man is from the 60s. Bad guys are supposed to wear suits in his early stuff, like ties and suits and hats and everything. It's supposed to look like that because it is set back then. It's not how later on you have decided to change it to be, like, more inclusive of things that might be put in later continuity. Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to the major ongoing comic stuff. No matter how you spin it, the Ninja Turtles are an 80s group of teenagers. That's how they are in the original comics universe. Although for the Turtles, they keep the consistency of the time periods a lot better than other companies when it comes to modern things that do things of the older material. My banana's gone. What am I going to make tonight? What I'm going to make is a job application to hopefully keep myself from running out of funds so I don't starve to death later. Can't exactly eat a job application, though. I guess you could, it wouldn't be tasty. I'm pretty sure there's someone that's eaten parts of a phone book before. I think I remember seeing that. The song goes on forever. That's what happens when you click on extended versions of videos. I know a piece of music I could play. I'm not sure if it's copyrighted, but I can give it a shot. Let's see here. Here it is. Hopefully we don't get blocked. Ah yes, Pepsi, this will absolutely block us. Get that out of here. Here we go. This is a track I sometimes play when I think of Doko going on certain adventures against Emperor Illuminator and stuff. It's also a track from a very, very good animation that all of you should absolutely watch called Kaizo Trap. It was made years and years ago. Actually had multiple endings that, back with how YouTube used to be set up, would be determined by things that you clicked on in the video. But, with how things are now, that can't happen anymore. It just plays the standard default ending. Which is sad. I believe someone's actually making a fan game version of this. Or of Kaizo Trap. Obviously, you can't really make a fan game version of a song. That was one thing that I was not sure about, how Jaden started off her Mario Kaizo video by saying, like, a small group of people only know about this. This is not the people do not know about this small sub-faction that does these hard ROM hacks called Kaizo. And it's like, no, everybody knows that. That's classic YouTube. And because I said that, I'm sure countless people will come out and say that they did not know. But I am here to inform you that you are wrong, and my point still stands because this is my video. I love this music track. It goes so perfectly with what happens in the video it's a part of. Yeah, Kaizo Trap Runmo from Gooseworks is also a pretty good one when it comes to, like, hard Kaizo-esque video game stuff. Although that one is playing more with the cartooniness of the premise. Yeah, this music has, like, everything from more calm parts to the building up to the really intense parts, like right here. I forget when I saw Kaizo Trap originally. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was years ago at this point. Oh, and if you pause Kaizo Trap, like, there's a part where it gets to this screen, and it's like a blue screen of death type thing that flashes by really quick. If you pause it and look at what it says on that screen, part of it is part of the story, I have no mouth and I must scream. Which, if you understand what the video is about, is a bit creepy. But it's a nice touch to have that in there. Kaizo Trap has a much better ending than I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, though. In the ending that it allows you to see now for the standard ending. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is a very classic science fiction story at this point. Well, it was classic before I was born, so obviously at this point it would be classic. Is this why program's not working that well? Okay, I may have figured out why the stylus is lagging a bit. I had another window open that I didn't know about, and now that I closed it, this is freezing up a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. Alright. Well, hopefully this, helps us with how fluid we can draw now. Oh, wait. Go to this screen, go to that screen, go to this screen. Okay, yes, that seems to have helped immensely. Now I can actually properly draw. Be sure to check if you ever are experiencing issues. If there is ever something open that you do not realize is open on the tabs on your device. Now we got some iconoclasts playing. The theme of Mother. A character who hardly appears in the game, but is very hateable for the brief instance you see of her. Okay, we've been going for over 2 hours, it looks like. And with any luck, we will be getting this finished up before too much longer, which means that I will probably be spending about 4 more hours actually finishing it, because it always goes on for hours after I end the stream, with all the little touches I like to tweak and twerk here and there. I was watching some Steven Universe earlier today. It was the episode where Amethyst cracks her gem and completely starts fucking herself up. Gets all glitched out and everything. That was the first moment. There were, like, feelings throughout the series to me that the gems were, like, artificial beings, like, that they weren't natural creatures. And, like, Amethyst starting to glitch out, that was, like, the first big indication to me that it's, like, they seem more like machines than like, naturally occurring things. And from what I read in the art book, that does seem to be the idea they had in mind, actually. And it's like, once I read that, it's like that the gems are technology. It was like, yeah, that exactly is what that lines perfectly up with what I was thinking. So that was kinda cool to have that, information once I found that out. What was that episode's name? Was it Indirect Kiss? Because, like, that's what happens with Connie, technically. I think that's what the episode was. Now the real question is, could Doko beat Garnet? Definitely have a tough time with her. I'm fairly certain Doko could probably beat Pearl. Probably Amethyst. It takes some effort for them, but I think that he could beat them. Oh, I thought about that all throughout the show, Daniel. The entire time I was wondering, like, what was the origin of the gems in Steven Universe? And what I eventually started thinking was that maybe they were, like, originally it was White Diamond or one entity that, like, the diamonds came from, that was, like, created by some other race to assist the other race. And that whatever it was ended up going rogue and killing that species before going on to, like, form gem kind. Because when they meet White Diamond, she calls, well, when she's talking to Steven, she calls him, thinking he's Pink Diamond, Starlight. So what I was assuming was that the diamonds were created by harvesting energy from stars, or that they were split from an entity that was created by harvesting the energy of a star or multiple stars. And that's what I assumed the origin might have been for them, based on what we get in the show and what is said in, like, the art book and stuff. They don't say in the art book what the origin is, but they do say that the gems are technology. So I figured that they must have been the first gem, or the first gems must have been created by another race. And then that entity, or the entities that survived and created gems, just continued to use what was used to create them to create more gems. That was always my theory on it, once I, like, cobbled together what might have been the origins of them. But that universe is over now. They may make a spin-off or two here and there in the decades to come, but for the main story, it is ended, at least, so probably not getting too much more in the way of information from that show. I don't know if I'm good at it, but there are times, it seems, where I can just predict how things are going to be revealed or turn out in a show before they happen. doesn't happen all the time, but I feel like I have a better track record of that than other people a lot of times. Got Doko pretty mad here. You can see all the trembling lines coming off of him. I was thinking about making his eyes red here, but I wanted to keep it consistent and just kept his eyes blue instead. Evil Doko has red eyes. Yeah, there are always things that, it feels like have been set up for certain fans to be able to catch on to before they actually happen in a series. I remember I could do it a couple of times with the show Lost. Just working off of, okay, well this works like this, and so if this means this, then this must mean this, and oh, that did mean that, they just said it. I figured that out before it happened. That is fairly cool. Still don't like that ending, though. Edward wants food. Welcome to the stream where Edward just says or makes noise along to the sound of the music. It must be exhausting for people that just do nothing but stream all day long. To have to be talking forever. And coming up with things to say constantly. Although, judging by some streamers, some of them don't have anything to say. They just kinda sit there, looking at you, menacingly. Well, if nothing else, these videos they still serve to show the actual creation process of things. Just take out the video, rip the video to the computer, put it in the editing program, put it on mute, put in some goofy soundtrack in the background, and speed it up to 16 times to 32 times speed. watch the thing get made. Because if you leave the sound on at that speed, you just get high-pitched chipmunk talking. Talking so fast it's impossible to understand what they're even saying. That's an angry-looking Doko there. Well, we've listened to that one. Very simple, nice tunes. Oh, okay, good. Almost thought I clicked out of the chat box of the video. Did not want that closing down. But this all the Space Station Silicon Valley music sounds like it could be stuff in Wallace and Gromit. A bit more energetic than Wallace and Gromit, though. Space Station Silicon Valley had a lot of mystery to it when I was younger. There's so much stuff in that weird game that I did not understand, and throwing the Fat Bear Mountain glitch into it was like just the icing on the cake for that kind of material. Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 era had a lot of video game mystery stuff to it. The good old stop and swap theories. Well, you have to get the ice key, then take Mumbo to the volcano area that you get into Mad Monster Mansion in, and drop the ice key into the lava to cool it. Even though we, in this guide, will not tell you how to do that, you just have to do it. There were so many things like that on the internet of people just coming up with flat-out lies to the urban legends of video gaming. Cypheron48, if I remember right, did a video on, like, some of the old video game urban legends. Pretty much anywhere that had, like, an invisible wall keeping you from going anywhere in a video game back then, I always thought of as, like, there must be something out beyond this border that if I could break past this, I could get to another area. Because it really was just like, well, this is a world, so obviously there's stuff out there that I'm not getting to see, because this game won't let me. Throughout the years, I would try time and time again to get out to those areas that were impossible to get to, that really had nothing in them, but I figured they must. I did eventually break out of the invisible walls border of the second level of the space area in Cell Damage. That was awesome. And you could do some pretty weird stuff with that. If I remember right, you could still attack people with certain weapons from outside the border, and they could not shoot you, because it's like a glass wall from their area. Yeah, Cell Damage was always a really fun one. I'm not sure if anyone knew, like, other than me and my brother, I never saw anyone on the internet that ever, like, even talked about getting out of the border in that area. So as far as I know, we were the only ones that ever did it, although I'm sure there are people out there that have done it since then.
75
Speaking of games, here's an Xbox one. What's this? It's Starfield by Bethesda. Nah. Here's Fat Bear Mountain. This fucking level. I think I actually beat this level in the Game Boy version. The Game Boy version of that game is so damn weird. All the levels are like cylinders that just repeat over and over. If you go to the side, you get to the left side. It's like a Pac-Man maze, except the screen is always following you, so you don't, like, it doesn't ever feel like you teleport to the other end. You just keep going in a straight line forever, like some Flintstones cartoon. They were trying to find all sorts of ways to convert 3D games into 2D games for, like, Game Boy ports of stuff. Some decent, some bad. But a lot of them were just really, really strange. Ooh, we get to a nice little piano part here. Space Station Silicon Valley was one of the video games that I wanted to live in when I was younger. It seemed so peaceful on that space station. Just nice residential area. Had good atmosphere, good time type of feeling. You had vegetables growing and everything. Of course, that's before you get to, like, the disembodied brain that's trying to, like, destroy everything. Well, we got Doko bringing his arms back and charging up energy in his hands. I'm so glad I shut that other internet window down. Now I can actually do the art without it, like, getting all jaggedy with the lines. You know, Edward, you could say stuff about the lore if you have run out of things to say. Yes, Edward, I could. But in this moment, I'm not really thinking of lore details. I guess if I want to say anything, the announcer guy obviously has robotic eyes. Has been very apparent throughout the comic, and I know that I've mentioned that before in videos. This world is full of cyborgs. Some that are naturally cyborgs, and some that have been converted into them. Things have advanced to a point where certain cyborgs will pass on their cyborg nature to their offspring, and they will naturally have artificial parts that have formed out of materials in the mother to replace the parts of them that would be missing if they were to be born without the coding to have the cyborg parts. So it's pretty much just skipping steps and giving them robotic parts before they would have to get them once they were fully formed. Which type the announcer is, I'm not sure, as I have not thought about his history that in depth. They sure like their ads these days. Yeah, Tom, Ba 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 da ba 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 down. One of my favorite level select themes ever done. So joyous. Yeah, if the energy that Doko is charging here wasn't as built up as it was in here, I would have probably colored the vest back here gray just to show that, like, it's the vest. But with how much energy is concentrated here, it's just so bright that all you can see is the little outline of the vest behind it. Yeah, I love that game. I do intend to find out if the Game Boy version of Space Station Silicon Valley has all the levels someday. Yeah, this game just has all sorts of pleasant music to it. Ba, 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 boom. Come to the Edward for the soothing good times. Bum. Bum, bum. The claw right here is having tremendous good times. Looking down at Doko's hands as he's beginning to realize that Doko is about to fire some energy. It's a more shocked expression than you've seen from the claw throughout a lot of the tournament. He's given some expressions of shock, but not that much. A lot of it is just, oh, it's another day, another adventure that I've lived through my whole life happening. Yeah, the Claw is a hero at the end of his journey. He has already had all the climactic battles and evil villains to have been fought throughout his life by this point. Doko is sort of the new generation, and he's of the old generation variety. Although, for him, it would be the old generation. Because you're kinda skipping generations with his case, with what era he's from. And then we got Doko just blasting the ground here. Yeah, Doko has kinda just gotten more and more annoyed and aggravated as this has gone on, and he just charges his arms, his hands up, and just launches a blast straight into the ground between them. Oh, how was the DLC, Shadow? Oh, it is stupid hard. That's not necessarily good. Yeah, I saw the Piccolo Daimyo fight. It looked pretty intense. I'm assuming it's that difficult because it's like stuff that they intend for the person to play after they've played the main game. Although, I would not understand why you do that, since that's like material that's set before the main game. But, yeah, being that Piccolo Daimyo is the old big villain back then. Yeah, that's checks out a bit. Yeah, one of the issues I always have is, they always start with Z. That's always been wrong to me. They need to just start it at the beginning, the actual beginning, and then just have it play all the way through until it gets to Boo. That's how you do the story. Well, hopefully it provided you some enjoyment to get to play that stuff, at least. And that is only the first thing of that campaign, Shadow. So you got plenty more to go after that. Although, sadly, from what I've... Oh, I don't know if I should say things for spoiler reasons, but... Yeah, I'll just hold my tongue on some things. What I will say is it is nice that they've actually recreated the, like, story of it, and not just skip over everything to give the most basic summary you can to get to the fights. Has, like, actual full-fledged cutscenes. Oh, we're back at this one. Let's see here. Oh, there's a... Well, that's not Gashapon, what is that? A damn Presto figure? I just saw a figure of third form Frieza. My favorite form of Frieza. And I couldn't tell what type of figure it was. Yes, but if you are on that Piccolo Daimyo grind, let us give you something more appropriate to listen to. I can barely hear this. Let's turn this up. Uh-oh. Freezing. Okay, is this working? It says it's working. I will have to go with what this says. Yeah, they really made the Piccolo Daimyo intro to that that part of the game very epic sounding. More so than it is in the show itself. Although I'm kinda sad they don't use the Piccolo Daimyo theme at all. That's like my favorite theme of the series. Dum bum ba da 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 dum ba da da dum ba da 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 bum ba da da dum bum bum ba da 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 dum bum bum ba dum ba da dum bum bum ba da dum ba dum. Yeah, I figured you'd appreciate this music, Shadow. Get you back into the spirit. Ah, the Demon King. Oh, one thing that if you do the side quest stuff, Shadow, you will get to see some other things that aren't in the, that they added in for the game version. Like, you'll get to see some more backstory of Ten Shinhan and Tao Pai Pai and all that. It was always a missed opportunity to me that they have never, ever gone back to, like, utilizing the Crane Master and stuff and carrying on his agenda. That feels like it pretty much writes itself for future conflict. But he's kind of just never seen again, along with Tao Pai Pai once they leave, unless you count the anime stuff. Yeah, Piccolo Daimyo always looks so cool with his outfit and stuff. I feel like a lot of English viewers do not realize that Kami is supposed to be God. That's why Piccolo has the devil kanji on him. It was always weird that Goku, like, got Dende to be the next god. It's like, I know they needed him for, like, Dragon Balls, but he doesn't really fulfill what I would assume would be the qualifications for a god of Earth. I would have probably just had it that, oh, you go get him for the Dragon Balls, and then someone else becomes the god of the Earth. And I know Toriyama is not necessarily the most intricate thinker for certain things. He's probably just, oh, this guy, the old guy made the Dragon Balls, so this guy's gotta make Dragon Balls. It seems kinda random at times what Toriyama would and would not remember as he was making stuff. Revenge. Let's switch off of that music. Go to Dish One.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube, and the YouTube
This
Music
is not
app
music.
altogether.
Dishes. This is very loud. There we go. Aye. Yeah, go with a different Piccolo Daimyo theme. Bum 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 bum. Piccolo, Revenge of King Piccolo was not what I would consider the best of the Dragon Ball video games. For me, that would go to Advance Adventure. But Piccolo, the Revenge of King Piccolo, did have a pretty damn awesome soundtrack at parts. Unfortunately, not enough music a lot of times. But it was pretty awesome. Oh, you are talking about Cell Max, Daniel. That was in the Dragon Ball Superhero movie. That is Dr. Gero's descendant, Dr. Hedo, that was creating a new cell for the remains of the Red Ribbon Army. He didn't want to, but it was in insistence by the leader. Edo was thinking that he was tricked into thinking Bulma and the heroes were evil. And that's how the Red Ribbon guys got him to make androids for them. He was under the impression he was making heroes, and was not understanding why they were having him create a new cell. Really, once it gets to the cell stuff, though, it's just blatant fan service is all it is. And they're just trying to come up with an excuse to reuse things again. But it is what I would consider one of the better movies of the modern era. Certainly one of the funner ones to me. It's essentially, like, half of it feels like it's a Piccolo movie. Although I do have to say, Piccolo growing giant at the end, and him needing to be reminded by Krillin that he can do that. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do that, I forgot. And it's like, what do you mean you forgot? You don't just forget something like that. That was kinda dumb, but it was nice to see him use the technique again. If the characters used all the techniques that they've done throughout the series, the battles would probably go a lot differently a lot of times. I wouldn't say it's weird, Daniel. It's just with how long Dragon Ball's gone on and how much they like to do fan service now. As much as that might be a detriment to the story to me. Those types of things are bound to pop up in the scenarios that the current stuff does for that series. This is a pretty awesome track, I would say, for Piccolo Daimyo. I always call him Piccolo Daimyo, because that's what I always heard his name as. In English, they call him King Piccolo, but I've always called him Piccolo Daimyo. Like, I think I don't even, like... I've seen Dragon Ball Z in English, because that's what I had access to for that. but originally seeing Dragon Ball, it was in Japanese for me, and I saw a lot of Z in English while stuff was like on hold. I saw a lot of Z in Japanese while stuff was on hold for Z in English. So I always think of things, it feels like, more in terms of how it is in the Japanese version, I think, than a lot of American viewers do. So I like, say, Piccolo Daimyo and Ten Shinhan and stuff like that. And it's always... when I see videos of people, like, titles of videos going, they actually said this in, like, Dragon Ball Z? And it's like, let me guess. You're going to be talking about the dub, where that's not the original script, and what you're saying, like, makes no sense for the original version of the show. I always, like, by default, I do not click on those videos, because I know that it's going to be people saying things about stuff that's not in the original versions when it comes to that, what they're making the videos about most of the time. Not sure why I brought that up. It's just something that, I guess, just kind of my history with Dragon Ball. Growing up how I did was, I think, a lot different from other Americans watching the stuff. Oh, well, if you want to get technical, Daniel, they did that before the film. Like, Dragon Ball Online had Cell X. That's like over 100 years later, but it is another Cell that... not the Red Ribbon Army, but the Red Pants Army. The successors to the Red Ribbon Army created. So, redoing Cell is not at all a new concept. Even by the time that you had come up with Disease, they had already done something like that in the franchise. Not something that the English, like, that the American fan base would know about much, but they had done something of it. It has been a bit since I drew Disease. It was nice, coming up with the color ideas for Disease back when we worked on that, though. Was really not sure what colors you wanted for Disease when you were, like, proposing it. But it was simple enough to just put that in GIMP and then recolor it to different colors. Copy-paste. Ow, ow. Bow, bow. Oh, wow, wow, bow. For a bit, I was thinking about making a music video of the superhero movie of Dragon Ball, but I didn't have access to, like, good quality clips to use for it. And as it went on, it became something I was less interested in with making a video of. Besides, I was kinda Dragon Balled out after all the Dragon Ball review video stuff I did. It took months and months to create that. Like, I think probably nearing half a year. Oh, well, whatever you want as the backstory for your character is what works, Daniel. You shouldn't let outside stuff deter you from your vision. Do Doko's belt here. I call it a belt, but it's not really a belt because it's a design that is on his suit. It's part of the suit. And then Doko's mouth over here. Yeah, if you ever want to see Dragon Ball, I do have all the episodes, Daniel. I have all the episodes of Dragon Ball in English. I wouldn't recommend that for that show, though. Well, I'd always pretty much recommend the original Japanese version with subtitles for a Japanese show. But for Dragon Ball, it's not the worst dub, but it's got parts that are silent in Japanese that they just keep talking through in the American version, which just ruins the experience for me. I do have the subtitled version of Dragon Ball Z Kai, though. If I could, I'd play Miyazaki music on here, but I know that would get copyrighted and blocked. You do not mess with Ghibli's music. Back in the old days, you could listen to anything and have it in any video. Not so much now. Yeah, watching footage from that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game, it kind of felt like a winter Saturday morning to me. Just all snug in the house, watching something peacefully. Now, let's see here. I got all the blacks colored in, except for the audience back there, which I'll do off screen. Let's raise the opacity. Yeah, that's looking good. Just need to fill in the white lines for the black areas here. So, take that off. Let's get to work. Oh, forgot I had this on a separate layer. Oh, I have that on the black layer. Well, okay, that doesn't interfere with anything, so I guess I'll leave it like that. Yeah, this I ended up, I originally had this where I drew all these lines through the, brick or the tile that is getting broken off and flung up into the air here. And so what I did was I went back in and colored it in using the clone tool afterwards on, like, tiles that already exist to drag that texture and color onto this. Yeah, that's how that was done. A little behind-the-scenes thing that you will never see in the final version of the page. There is quite a bit of editing that goes on in some of these pages that the audience never knows about. I know that, decades from now, when this is the most super popular series of all time, the physical pages I have created will go for millions of dollars. That, some of those pages look not nearly as good as how the digital edited versions are. Everyone wants the originals, though. I'm always kinda jealous when I see the people that were able to get the, physical artwork of the Earthworm Jim pages for the comics that Doug TenNapel did the other year. I would love to have gotten some of those, but way out of my price range. Yeah, Doug may be a bit of a crazy guy, but, love his artwork. I do know that Doug TenNapel has copies of Akira and Berserk. Two things that seem a bit different than the stuff that he creates. A man of culture, for some cases. Now, one thing that I liked in that Dragon Ball superhero movie was, how the characters could actually see the comic book sound effects whenever Heto's, androids were doing stuff, since they're supposed to be, like, exemplifying the American comic book tropes with when they're attacking. One of my favorite word, like, physically appearing gags is if anyone ever saw, what was it called? It's something I did not care for that much. It's like this animation, I think it's called Smile, of Pinkie Pie and My Little Pony brutally murdering all the other ponies and stuff. But, yeah, I don't care for that. It made the obvious thing is it's just, oh, it's the super nice, cute one that is all about parties, doing completely what you don't expect and going to the other extreme. That's not funny to me, that's just weird. But, one thing I liked was when she is fighting Fluttershy, and Fluttershy turns out to be like an absolute badass. Pinkie Pie, at one point they like hit and there's this sound effect word that pops up, and she grabs the sound effect and uses it to attack Fluttershy with. I don't care for all of that animation, but I love that part. That is hilarious to me. Oh, good, we are on exactly the same page there, Shadow. And mid-2010s was quite a time for pony animations. Yeah, no, that short, or that animation went quite a bit visceral. Oh. What the? Oh. Oh, this is from Dragon Ball FighterZ, okay. I guess since it's Bardock, I'll play this then. Remixes are always easier to avoid potential copyright with. Although I'm pretty sure any music from FighterZ is just fine for videos. Yeah, I still have some stuff from that era of, like, pony fandom saved to a hard drive. And I got, like, the Rainbow Dash, what were they? It was like the animations that were, like, really not good animations, but, like, Rainbow Dash would read a story, and it was, like, popular pony fandom stories, but they were, like, completely wrong, and Rainbow Dash in that version is, like, an absolute moron, and just recites completely inaccurate fanfics and stuff. It was pretty funny to me. I always like this guy when it comes to the remixes that he does. I think he's called JX. He always does like 8-bit and 16-bit remixes of stuff. There should just be a buzzer, or no, a light that flashes when you go to a video that has, or select music that is copyrighted and will get you blocked. There needs to be some easy way to identify that. Like, while you're making a video, or a stream, I mean, since it's, like, in real time. Obviously, if you're just making a video, you have all the time in the world to prepare for stuff and get things in order to be acceptable content when it comes to that sort of stuff. Yeah, this remix is very Mega Man X sounding. Fix Doka's shoe down here. I say shoe, it's not really a shoe, it's part of his suit. Yes, there are various people that have had the outfit type that Doko has, but only Doko and Stacy are seen throughout this. Yeah, this could just be used as like a Street Fighter theme in the background of a fight, it feels like. Yeah, just cleaning up here. Filling in white lines between the black spaces. This is the easy part. When you got all the main work done, after this is pretty much just the audience to fill in that one panel. And then adjusting the page to lay over another page so the size is right and in line with the other pages of the comic to keep the consistency. Oh, wow. He did a Toku Sentai. I guess we'll see how that is. Oh, wow. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Kai may have taken out some of the more violent stuff when it came to the battles, like blood-wise, but on the other hand, it gave you some pretty damn awesome tracks. Yes, we are. Yeah, people these days pretty much cannot imagine the Ginyu Force without this theme, I don't think. but it's one that was made up for Kai, not the original Z. Toku Sentai, Toku Sentai. Yeah, the Ginyu Force is an odd case to me. It's like, I know part of it is to make fun of Super Sentai stuff, Power Rangers type stuff. But a lot of the stuff they make fun of them for is stuff that the other characters that are poking fun at do themselves, like calling out attack names and posing and everything. So it's kind of... it feels weird to me. As they're like making fun of things that are like just normal Dragon Ball things that they themselves do. Yeah, Doko's series doesn't have a Ginyu Force, at least not yet. Closest thing you could get probably be the Diabolic Angels, and they just work more as like a Team Rocket Emperor peel-off type thing where they're like the failure villains that never give up. Dragon Ball Z Kai had a few character songs in it. There's Toku Sentai, there's a chilling elegy for Frieza's theme, the Seto games, or the Cell games. I think it's broadcast of the Seto games. And then Let It Burn for the final battle against Boo, which is really, really epic sounding when Goku is fighting Boo and the, like, with that playing in the background. Toku Sentai, Toku Sentai, Toku Sentai. Oh, I like that he just goes straight, he doesn't like waste time with a little minute-long credits thing, he just lets the video end, so when you're looping it in your free time, it just restarts automatically into the song. No intro, no outro, no anything. Yeah, every game after Dragon Ball Z Kai should come equipped with this song as an option for when you get to the Ginyu Force. No, I always meant to, like, catch back up on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I only saw up to, like... What was it? I think it was the time travel thing at the end of that one season. Where, like, it shows all the different alternate universes that Twilight and Spike go to. And it's like, you get to see everything that could have happened if they had not been there. All the horrible stuff that could have gone on. That's kinda where I stopped seeing the show. Boom, ba-da, boom. And the My Little Pony franchise is... That franchise better forever be thankful that Lauren Faust came in. It was pretty much a dead franchise until that happened. Yeah, some of it was, it's okay, it's not the best, but I'll take it. But some of it was, like, really, like, surprisingly good. I think Lauren only really worked on the first and second season, though, if I remember right. I think I remember season 3 being a pretty good one to me. I remember T-Rex. T-Rex was someone I did not expect them to do. But that was incredible when they did him. Unlike other My Little Ponies, it actually had continuity and an ongoing story with, like, potentially world-ending stakes at times. Obviously, it never got into the super dark, violent territory, but it was surprisingly exciting at parts. You don't always need the super explicit stuff to make it really good. That's one thing I heard, like, how I've heard it put before is, like, in a Jack Kirby documentary. Jack Kirby did... I think the guy was saying he did exciting action. Now all you have is violence action. He didn't do violence action, he did exciting action. I think that's how he put it. And Jack Kirby makes some of the most exciting adventures you can get. With my comics, it can get violent, but the violence is not what makes it as exciting as it can get. It adds to it in the right scenes. What I do is, with these comics, the violence is there as sort of... It accentuates the danger of the scenes. In the more tense situations, it can serve as a good tool for making things feel more just like the characters are in danger type of stuff. I'm not afraid to have them get really bloody, but I do not, like, aim for that to be, like, a goal, like, that's some checkbox that needs to be marked off or anything. It's just the blood and stuff that gets into it is just what naturally feels like it should be part of the scene is all. Yeah, it's never going to be a point like just throwing blood around just to have it, like fountains and fountains of it or anything. I love this song. Rakumen, his eraser gun. Rakumo. Kinda crazy to me that this guy did a remix of the entire song. It's like a 4 to 5 minute song. They even have this part in there. Sets up for the final verse. Yeah, for a more recent remix of his. Disney Plus. What is this about? It looks like Obi-Wan. This looks like Darth Vader. This absolutely must be Star Wars, but I am not playing this ad because it's way too long. Instead, let us get to some Sonic Forces. Now for the song that everyone went on about when Sonic Forces came out. This is a pretty awesome, like, first boss fight. Every track for a boss in Sonic Forces feels like it's for a final boss. Or not Forces, Frontiers. I always get that mixed up because they're both F words. If it were Sonic Forces, it would not be nearly as awesome sounding. When the time has come and gone, we the one to carry on. Undefeatable, I'm hanging on the other side. Live up till the end of me. You get when the stars collide. You're just an enemy. Whoa. 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 I'll take what is mine. Down, down, boom, boom, boom. Down, boom, 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 boom. I'd say out of the boss fights, the Wyvern boss fight has the least appealing track to me. It's not bad, it's just not as good as, like, this track or the third one. And then, like, the Supreme track is, like, the main theme. so it's like great. Be the one to carry on. Undefeatable. I'm hanging on to the other side. I'm what you get when the stars collide. You're just an enemy. And badass solo. Now this guy is insane for like doing remixes with these types of instrument sound effects with songs like this. Yeah, when the stars collide. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers, gameplay-wise, it's alright, it looks like, but a lot of it is very lazy and just repeating the same Sonic Forces generation stuff of reusing the same stuff over and over again. But like, the actual story is actually good for like the first time in forever. And it's odd to me, because it's like you gotta take that laziness garbage with like legitimate stuff that is progressing the Sonic series, like story-wise. It's a very mixed bag game to me, but it's like, it's more up than down than previous games. Like, once you get to the cutoff of 06 messing things up, then you got Unleashed in Colors, and that's good. Then you got Generations, which is, it's good because it's an anniversary game. And then after that, it's like, you got just bleh until Frontiers. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'll take Frontiers. I'll take it and ignore this other stuff that's in it. Undefeatable. The other side. Alright. Let me see here. Yeah, I figured I had more blacks to do. Yeah, this is the King's Shadow symbol on the little wooden separation thing back there. And then this is the doorway to where the fighters, like, reside before the matches. There we go. Down, down, down. Down, down, bum, 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 down. Okay. Let me see here. Do we have everything? I think we got everything that we're going to do on stream. So I'm going to do the tiny tweaks and twerks of the finishing touches off screen, like I always do. I'll be the one to carry on. Undefeatable. Okay, okay. Alright. Just shaving up a bit here. Claw looking all serious. He's a serious man. Or a serious kid. Because his name's Claw Kid. Even though he's like probably in his 30s or 40s by this point. Let's see, because when the Shadow Virus Wars happen, Claw Kid is... he'd be like 17 or 18? And then that lasts until like the mid-2020s. So Claw Kid at the end of the war... let's see... 7... Why am I trying to figure this out on stream? I'm wasting time here. 2007. That's let's just say 2025. So 7 away would be 8. And then 10. That's like 18 years, I think. So that would be 30. Whoa. 30. Yeah, that'd be like 35 years old that he is at the end of the war, so he's like over his 40s by the time he's fighting Doko here, I think. Yeah, the Claw is, he is not as young as he used to be. Oh well, I think we got everything here. So, yeah, this'll be the comic page. This'll show the audience here what it's going to look like. And I guess expect this later on tonight. For now, though, I guess I will call the video here, because pretty much finished up what I set out to do on video, except that I forgot to do the Claw's pants here. So let's just get this done up real quick. The important part of the stream. Boom, 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 boom. What everyone watches it for. Pants drawing. Okay, that is the end. We end with a bit of pants coloring. And I guess expect this with a audience silhouettes in the background here once it's up later. But this'll be the page 73 of the 14th comic of the Dreamscape series. I hope you have enjoyed. I know that I have gotten work done here, and I guess I've enjoyed it. I'll see you all later. Edward18 signing out.